The core bedrock of our philosophy at Telos is what we call the Telos 10 Pillars. Think of them as the 10 Commandments of Telos. It's critical that you know these 10 pillars, that you study them, that you read through them. In fact, it's one of the requirements that you read through the manual at least once a year, studying each of the 10 pillars. We can't afford to let the 10 pillars become vague ideas that we read in a manual long ago. They have to be alive at Telos. We have to be aware of them. We have to be demonstrating each of them in our daily work. The first pillar is having a heart at peace. This means that when you come into work, you're not coming with an angry attitude. You don't view the boys as problems or bundles of diagnoses. You view them as human beings, as little brothers, as surrogate sons, as people you want to connect with and bond with. Even when they're being difficult to love, you're able to see past the behaviors to the beauty that's inside of them. This is having a heart at peace. You should have a heart at peace not only with the boys, but with your coworkers and with yourself. The second pillar is having a relationship-based model of treatment. This means that your relationship with each of the boys is key to their healing. The relationship is what we use to break down their defenses and their walls so that we can get behind their defenses with our clinical toolbox to do good therapy. Change doesn't occur at a deep level unless there's an inspiring relationship involved. Skipping down to the fifth pillar, this involves being a master teacher. We can't hold the boys accountable to what they're unable to do. That means that we have to be in a constant state of assessing their capability and having individual teaching moments with them daily. When you come on and work a shift, you should be in teacher mode or mentor mode, not just in management mode or being a glorified babysitter. This means that you should have dozens of teaching moments every shift. You're constantly watching, looking around the room for boys that are making social mistakes or that are struggling with their treatment issues. With a soft, supportive arm around the shoulder approach, you're pointing out the things that they could do more effectively. You're modeling the behavior you want to see. You're role-playing with them. You're giving them concrete instructions, teaching them very specific skills, and you're doing this over and over and over in a very patient way. This is being a master teacher. The sixth pillar is the processing approach. You need to understand deeply the unique way that many of our boys process information. You need to understand the metaphor of the funnel contained in the manual. You need to understand the processing-friendly approaches and attitudes that you can use to help processing students bring out their very best. Skipping down to Pillar 8, this involves the power of the team. One thing that I want to put a lot of stress on is the concept of triangulation. Triangulation is when two people have a conflict with each other, and so they pull in a third party to take sides. Triangulation can be very subtle. It can be as innocent as sitting in your office and somebody comes in to complain about somebody else, and you simply give them a listening ear, and slowly you become converted to their way of seeing the conflict. The only way at Telos that we deal with triangulation is we go directly to the person we have the problem with. It takes courage, but we directly confront in a respectful and professional way the person that we're struggling with. If we feel like we're too unsafe to do that, then we can go to the supervisor of the person we have a problem with. If the person you're struggling with is your supervisor, then you can go and talk with their supervisor. The key is we don't go and share our gripes and complaints about people or departments with other people who don't have stewardship over them. So the key word is stewardship. Remember, the best practice is to go directly to the person you have the problem with. Avoid triangulation at all costs. Triangulation creates camps, dark camps of negativity and telos that drips poison into the bloodstream of our program. Once we're fighting against each other, we no longer have the emotional or spiritual energy to help the boys fight against their issues. The ninth pillar has to do with customer service. We want all of the customers at Telos, that includes the parents and the families, the students, and each other, to have a genuinely excellent customer service experience. We want the parents to have what we call a mint on the pillow experience. That means that we think of and do the little things that communicate courtesy and care. We're excellent with our communication. We don't leave emails unchecked in our inbox. We don't go home without returning phone calls. Again, please study and refer to your manual often. It's your responsibility to become proficient in each of the 10 pillars. The 10 pillars is what keeps Telos excellent. It's what makes us different. It's what makes us better.